established. So it was a big discussion what to do, how to remember the Holocaust, how to remember the people who were killed or were murdered, who passed away in the time of the Holocaust. And it was opinion that we have to make like new date because it's of course it's enough. It's something so huge that need a day by itself. But other people say no, it's not a good idea. We cannot make like a day by itself because we don't want nowadays to try to make more fast days or things like this. People, it's enough the five fasts that we have in the year. So then it was option maybe to make it in Tisha B'Av. So they said no, Tisha B'Av we have a lot of things in Tisha B'Av because we have the Kinot, we have to remember Beit HaMikdash. So finally, the decision was that to make it in Asarah B'Tevet because Asarah B'Tevet we don't have like something special that we have in Asarah B'Tevet. Okay, we just not just, but we say Slichot to remember the siege of Nebuchadnezzar, Melech Bavel started, but we don't have like something special what to do in this day. So therefore, the Rabbanut Harashi decided right after the state of Israel was established to make the Asarah B'Tevet a day that we remember the people who died in the Holocaust, especially the people that we don't have a date when they were killed, and there are people that we don't know where they were buried. And later on, the state of Israel decided to make also in Kaf Zayin Benisan because of the ghetto Varsha, Merd ghetto Varsha. And the Rabbanut Harashit in the beginning didn't like it so much because it's Chodesh Nisan. Chodesh Nisan is a Chodesh that we don't like Tachnun, but finally it was accepted, the 27th of Nisan. But it was important to the Rabbanut Harashit also today to make like something, if we can say, more frum for the people who died in the Holocaust, to say El Malei Rachamim, to say in the shul, to in the Kriyat Torah that we have any case we have a Kriyat Torah in Asarah B'Tevet, so right after the Kriyat Torah to say El Malei Rachamim, and and therefore they like specify the day for the people that we don't know where they were uh, killed, the date, and we don't know when they were buried. And unfortunately, for many years it was up and down about this day. When I grew up, I remember that really people came in my school, for example, we all were. We all went to Echal Shlomo. It was a big ceremony of thousands of students, and it was a big deal. After that, it went down. Can people don't pay attention for this day? Uh, in the last few years, the Rabbanut and another organization tried to make it again like a more important day and to make the connection between Asarah B'Tevet and between the Holocaust. And one of the projects that Shem Olam, it is an organization in Kfar Oeh that has a lot of learning about the Holocaust. So he decided this year, especially in the Corona, to make like a project that there are communities around the world, all over the world, that each community remember like one community that was destroyed in the Holocaust. I think it's a great idea. And, I think they have around, for me, it's only 32 communities or something like this that joined the program, but I think it's a great program. Thank God we have community. We have a very powerful community. We live here in Eretz Israel. It's מאוד מאוד מתאים to remember a community that was destroyed in the Holocaust. So therefore, we decided to make a very short ceremony. I finish now to speak, and then we will see a short 5 minutes, I think around 5 minutes movie about the ghetto of Vilna, and then we say a tefillah for this community. Right.
Thank you, Absobel. Okay, we have the video now. And I'm going to share my screen and we will watch it.
Did you hear about the chimney sweeps? You know what they did? They brought in food to the chimneys, right? So my mother was very brave. She opened up a little store. She used to buy the food from the chimney sweeps, sell it in the ghetto. We had some food, and the chimney sweeps had places where to do. And this is the way it was little money. It was turning. If we had some, as I said before, there were some valuables like bells, there were some gold coins. I don't know how much, because when I left the ghetto for good, I didn't have a cent to me. I didn't have money. It was sudden.
There were days where they would take you in right next to the Torwache. There was like a room, a store, and tell you to undress. But there were days where you could just go in. And people smuggled in anything under the sun, anything they could lay their hands on.
We lived in the apartment that where we existed. Actually, it was 5 men to about 16 people in the apartment that had to be fed. And those were all children, all women, actually. So if we wouldn't risk that to bring it in, it wouldn't be there. And I was fortunate. 2 men out of those 5 did get caught smuggling in, and they got shot in the returned.
What would be a typical day for you as a young kid?
In the ghetto. Yeah. Probably going to school, going to the straight school, for lack of a better term, or learned woodworking and things like that. With some other subjects that were fairly mundane, but nothing very elaborate. But again, I was 12 years old, 13 years old, so that whatever 12-year-olds should be familiar with. But other than that, I would get together with my friends, would play cards, play chess, but it was theater.
Kind of place like a few families together in one small apartment. Even with other families in the same place. We didn't have enough to sleep. One was sleeping on the table. We were sleeping, I remember, in one bed. When we were sleeping, I, my sister, my mother and father, like herring in a face. And my father over there started to work. And he was working. What was the work? He has to go out from the ghetto and to go in a place where over there it called Gendarmeria. And over there he was working like a shoemaker. I, my sister, my mother, and my other aunts and uncles, they was in ghetto. And the uncles also went out to work because the women in this time they didn't go.
Crowded, hard, although the ghetto had a life. There was passive resistance. We had theater, we had schools, we had one of the largest libraries in town was a Jewish library, Stashun Bibliothek. Where was that? It's called Stashun Bibliothek, and it was on the same street we lived on. It was its original place. There was the ghetto area had also there was a secular high school. It was called the Real Gymnasium. So we had schools, we had a hospital. The schools were forbidden, but we still had schools. We had active theaters.
So you went to school there?
I went to school there for a short time.
Which school did you go to?
There was no which. There were
Right,
little enclaves with instructions. There were teachers. They would take a group of kids to teach them.
Okay, everyone, at this point, Chazan Rotner is going to give us, sing a Kel Mole. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Before I'm going to chant the Kel Mole, let me share with you my personal experience at the Vilna. We did a concert, my brother in the choir, been invited by Chabad of Vilna to celebrate Hanukkah at the Kobna, Slobodka, but the main place was Vilna. When we stayed there, we arrived there like a Thursday. It was a freezing day. It's just, it's unbelievable how cold was it. So we davened the Shabbat at the Chabad. We was been hosted by the Chabad, Shabbat. And then Sunday night, and then Sunday noon, we took a trip in Vilna, and we went to see the Goyim Vilna grave and the Rodzinsky, the rabbis who was famous rabbis. We visit also at the many synagogue over there. At the night, Sunday night, we're supposed to candlelight the Hanukkah candle at the main shul where the Goyim Vilna was. But at the noontime, we took a trip to a place which called Panar. It's a gay Hariga of Panar. As I'm telling you the story, I got shivers in my body because it was a freezing day, and we came there and we got to know what's happened over there. Right on the bear, like it's like a big hole on the ground, and it has surrounded with big hill of snow, and just about 100 meters from us, there's a railroad over there. While I'm chanting the Kel Mole Rachamim, and eventually the choir was giving me the response and everything, and we would cry, a train passed by, and I was figuring, oh my gosh, that bring me pictures how they bring the Jewish people from Vilna by the train, putting up on the big hole, on the top of the hole, shoot them all, and bury them right there. By the way, 3 years later, during the war, they came back, the German, and they dig back to the hole and burned them, all of them, because they was afraid to find what the massacre that they did to the Jewish community in Vilna, and to cover that. I have a recording of this mole. I just couldn't find it. I asked the rabbi if I could put another recording when I have a mole. But let me chant the El Mole Rachamim in the memory of the Acheinu Beit Israel of Vilna, who've been killed so bad. It was, I'm telling you, I want to cry. It was so emotional. I never ever forgot that moment. And I promise you, if I'm going to find the tape, I will send it to you. You're going to enjoy it. El Mole Rachamim, in the memory of the Harugim al Kiddush Hashem in Vilna. El Mole Rachamim, Dayan al Manois, ויביא את הימים המצי מנוחה נכונו על כנפי השכינו. אוי במלויס קדושים ודאיירים כזויר הרגיע מאירים ומזהירים לנשמויס אחינו בית ישראל הרוגי וילנה אנשים ונשים ילדים וילדות שנהרגו אוי ונשחטו ונשרפו ונחנקו ונגמרו חיים על ידי המרצחים הגרמנים יימח שמם כולם קדושים כולם טהורים ארזי הלבנון ואדירי התורה לוחי לבעל רחמים יסתירם בסדר גנבם ליועלמים ויצריר ביצריר החיים את נשמתם אדוני הוא נחלו עשם בגן עדן תהיה מנוחתם וינוחו בשלום על משכבם ונאמר Amen.
Thank you so much. Rav Sobel, do you want to say something here at the end?
No, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that in a so short time joined the program tonight. And I just want to recommend if you can, we can do something with our family. I send a message to light a candle, maybe tomorrow morning to learn some Mishnah, to say Kapitel Tehillim, and to think about the people who didn't have the privilege to be here in Eretz Israel, and to think about it that we are doing their shlichut here for the people that couldn't make it. This is a big zchut and big responsibility.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Som Kal.